evening and welcome to the Statesmen of Comedy. I am Trevor Marmalade, and this week we go multinational. Joining me tonight, will you please welcome UK comedy legend Jeff Green. Representing Australia, Colin. And representing Footscray, Russell Gilbert. Jeff and Cole, you've been in Edinburgh together. You've been nominated for Perrier Awards.
In 1994, Colin and I were doing off Edinburgh Festival together. We were both nominated.
In separate shows?
Yeah, and Colin won. And I've always held it against him. Yes.
Actually, I saw you years ago out here with doing a show with Jo Brand.
Yeah, Jo is... she's a fantastic comedian, yeah. In fact, when I came here, I just went... I could live here, and as it turns out, that's how things have transpired.
Well, you are. You're living here now, and how does your act travel, going from one country to the other?
Australia's all right. You have to change little words
Excuse me? What did you say then? Australia's all right.
It's all right.
If you let me...
Well, why don't you pack up your freaking bags?
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. If you don't like it...
Australia's all right language-wise. It's when you go to places like Germany, because I did some gigs in Germany because my agent's a bastard. And so I was booked to do a place called Oberhausen in Germany for the whole weekend, and they went, there'll be expats there, people from the United Nations. There was no one from there. I said Guten Tag. They said Guten Tag. I went, Sprachen Sie English? They went, Nein. I went, what, no one? Right, there was 400 people in front of me, didn't speak any English, I didn't speak any German, had to do half an hour of modern dance.
One of the first gigs I ever did was at the restaurant called the Back of Burke Theatre Restaurant. Trevor would know this. And
Johnny Braybrook?
Johnny Braybrook, and he was the guy on before me, and I'd just come straight from the joke, and I turn up at the Back of Burke Restaurant, and he goes to me, do you know any Volkswagen jokes? I go, no. And I thought, well, that's a weird thing to say. And they've got 180 Germans in the audience, that's it. Couldn't understand. The only laugh I got is when I put on a hat and I went, I didn't think I'd make it here tonight. That was the only laugh I got doing Frank Spencer. I was driving in my little car, I pulled up at the traffic lights, and the lady pulled up beside me. She rolled her window down, and she said, pig. So I rolled my window down and I said, cow. Then I drove off and I hit the pig. Only laugh I got.
Well, let's go for a couple of topics. Gents, let's start off with, can it be love? Now, relationships don't go smoothly. Apparently, I mean, obviously, my marriage is a match made in heaven. You know, when I met my wife, she was exactly what I was looking for. I was looking for someone who was beautiful and nice and who I thought would be a good mum. And I was exactly what she was looking for. She was looking for someone that could open jars. But obviously it works pretty well. Jeff, were you married to an Australian lass?
I am married to an Australian lass, yeah. And it's delightful. I got married in Melbourne 2 years ago. And I've just paid the wedding off because I put on a free bar to Australians. What a dickhead. They didn't open the bar, they just fired a starting pistol into the sky. It was like revenge for Gallipoli, right? It's the most expensive event in my life. But it's lovely, you know, it's because I was scared about getting married, I have to say. I don't know what the statistic is in Australia, but in Britain, 2 out of 3 marriages end in divorce.
Right.
Yeah, the other one ends in murder.
So whose idea was it to live in Australia?
Well, my wife's... her dad died, so she got really homesick and wanted to come home to her mum. So we went, well, let's go and let's. So I was doing quite well in England, but I decided to come here. But I had a lovely house. Then we came to live with our in-laws in a place called, do you know Heidelberg?
You came to live with your in-laws?
With Fiona's parents. Yeah. We stayed for 3 months in Fiona's bedroom that she grew up in, and we were in bunk beds. With our 2 boys. Yeah, and we'd go shopping at a place called Northland Shopping Centre. Yeah. Do you know, it's basically for people who think Frankston's a bit too la-di-da. It's the oddest... I saw a bloke pushing a pram, but the baby wasn't in the pram. The baby was under his arm. He had a slab of beer in the pram. Oh, yeah. See, I said to my wife, that's wrong. She went, yes, if he left the baby in the car, he could have got 2 slabs.
I like the grooming part of women, watching women groom. I think that's a beautiful thing. I noticed my lovely partner, Michelle, I've been with her 14 years, and I love her. But I see it... and she went and get a Brazilian, and they actually asked her at the beauty salon if she'd like to get her arsehole bleached. And you know what she said? Nah, he likes his hair the way it is. I was thinking, come on!
Well, I've known the two of you a long time. You do have your moments sometimes, you know.
Yeah, oh, we do. Like every other couple, we have our moments. I mean, one thing that fascinates me about her is when your partner yells out from the other room, and this would happen, Jeff, at your house, and Colin, Trev, you're sitting downstairs and the missus will yell out, Russell! Well, they won't yell out Russell at your place unless I'm in the wardrobe and I don't know you're home yet. You know? But they yell out, Russell! And I'll be a lovely bug and go, what? And she'll say, could you do the thing for us down in the kitchen? Could you do the thing for us, see what you can do? Could you do that thing in the back room? And you'll go, what was that? And she'll come walking in going, don't worry, I'll do it myself. I said, honey, I couldn't understand a word you said. It just sounded like you said, Russell, could you do the thing for us in the back room, in the bathroom? And she looks at me and she goes, it's like talking to a brick wall. I said, you were talking to a brick wall. Oh, I was in the other room. And then you go to bed, and you know when you've had that argument, you would have had these arguments, you go to bed, you're on that side of the bed, she's on the other side of the bed, and your foot accidentally touches her foot, it's like, get away! We're arguing, you accidentally bump into her shoulder, get away! We're arguing, but she reaches over and puts her hand here, you go, all right then, we'll make up.
Let's move on very swiftly.
Can I just say off the back of Russell, Russell has picked on probably the two hardest parts of living with somebody is sharing a bathroom. I find they use far too much toilet paper for my liking.
Oh, really?
How much toilet?
Well, you're toilet paper to count the squares. See, that's weird. You know,
it's the noise you can hear. Thrrr. 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 What are you building? What are they constructing in there, Trevor? In my mind, they've constructed a large nest of toilet paper. Oh, this is comfortable now. I'm comfy. Nice to be comfy when you're having a tinkle. See, my wife calls it a tinkle. She says, I'm off for a tinkle. Then you hear the sound of an elephant, right? From a tinkle. But then sleeping together is probably as you say, hot. Why are women's bums always so cold when they get into bed? I don't know, I'm asking you. Why are women's bums always so cold?
Oh,
women's bums are freezing when they get into bed. I always wonder, are they mooning people? You know, are they cleaning our teeth and they're sort of mooning people? And then they don't just come to bed and say, oh, my bum, it's a bit cold. They just back it in. It's just like, just beep, beep, beep. It's like being salted by a frozen chicken. Every night.
All right, let's move on to any danger. And the question is, have you ever been in danger? I've actually, Russell, I'll field this one for you.
OK.
I have seen you in danger.
OK.
Russell and I had the great privilege to go to Rio Carnival a number of years ago. We were sent over there for Hey Hey, which is what a junket, right?
It was a good junket.
And it's lovely there along Copacabana. Everyone sits outside drinking the caparoscas, which is like basically a crushed lime in the bottom with a bit of sugar and then just straight to the top with vodka. And we were sitting out at this outdoor bar one day and we were having a chat, there's a group of us, and Russell starts joining some straws together. You know, he always do something with his hands. And as he's chatting, he makes about a 5-metre long straw. And he stood up and he leant over a guy's shoulder and took a sip out of his caparosca. At which point, the guy stands up and we realise this guy is built like a truck, right? He just picks up the glass and throw it all over Russell's head, right? So Russell's standing there, he's got lime balancing on his head and vodka dripping down his thing. And like he says, no, mate, it's all right, we're comedians from Australia. He starts doing the fast talk. The guy's going, oh, okay, all right, I won't kill you right now. And it turns out this guy, his name was Muhammad, and he said he was an art dealer from Iran. Yeah. So I venture to say, Russell, you were very lucky he didn't pull a piece of art out and shoot you through the head with it. But by the end, and this is how Russell works, by the end of it, they were such good buddies, they were swapping addresses, saying they're going to be pen pals.
Exactly. And I was teaching him how to make long straws.
Well, Colin, have you ever been in danger?
I was in New York recently. I wasn't, but I was in this story. And and I'm a huge Crocodile Dundee fan. And, you know, I like the big knife that he has in Crocodile Dundee. And this guy came up and mugged me. And he had this knife, and I said, you know, that's not a knife, this is a knife. And I had a huge Crocodile Dundee knife. And after he stabbed me, But it is interesting because if you are being chased by a crocodile, the best... No, seriously. No, shut up. If you are being chased by a crocodile, the good news is that you should climb a tree because crocodiles can't climb trees. But the bad news is that the crocodile can sit at the bottom of the tree for up to 18 months.
I was not far from this country in Indonesia, and I did a holiday. I went on a holiday. It was dreadful. Hated it. People say, "What's Indonesia like?" I say, "Don't bother going. Just cover your whole body in deep heat, get into the shower for 2 weeks, and take a course of laxatives. It's exactly the same." Damn you, nasi goreng! You're asking the wife for loo roll because there's none there because she's been in before you. But my wife said to me, we're going to go on a volcano trip, but the volcano's active. They've got a different attitude to safety in the third world. Yeah. Non-existent, I've come to find. They ask you if you want to have a photograph of a tiger. Do you want a photograph of a tiger? You say, is it in a case? You go, no, I've tied it to that bicycle over there. And so we go to the volcano, and it has an eruption. And we're staring at it, me and Fiona, and poof, and this molten pumice flies out, and this is red hot. People have been killed there, and it come towards us. I shit myself, which wasn't difficult, I'll be honest with you. I asked the bloke, is this dangerous, right? But he's legged it, he's halfway down. I'm suddenly overtaken by a tiger on a bicycle. 2 monkeys on the handlebars, and that's probably the closest I've come to death recently.
When I went parachuting once, I was the last person to actually be in the plane, and I got really scared, and the instructor said, "Rightio, it's your turn to jump," and I said, "I'm not jumping." And he said, "I've been training you for 2 days." He said to me, he said, "If you don't jump," he said, "look, I've got an 8.5-inch penis." He said, "If you don't jump," he said, "you know what I'm going to do with that, don't you?" So
how did that come up in conversation?
Well, anyway, a lot of people asked me, did I jump? I went, yeah, a little bit at first,
We're going to take a very quick break. When we come back, we'll be back with a bit of Exhumed. See you in a minute. Welcome back to Statesmen of Comedy. Let's go straight to Exhumed, where we dig up some old footage of our panellists. And Russia Gilbert, I never thought I'd see today that you play a copper in a movie with Heath Ledger. You played a copper in a movie.
I did, actually.
With that Heath Ledger. We're going to have a look at it right now.
Damn, Kelly! Or I swear to God, I'll shoot you down.
Hey, I was only going after the horse.
You're trying to escape, you blackguard. You're just as thick as your bloody father.
Christ, now what are you trying to do? I'd attend you hide for that.
Strike an officer and you'll bloody swing for it.
Strike you down to the ground, eh? No blue, not yet, Constable Hall.
Help me, someone.
Oh, help him. Help Constable Hall. Call Constable Hall. Oh, eat that, you fucking man.
Kill me, the Russian.
Put me down.
There you go. Well done, mate.
There was a couple of moments in that film that were quite serious, and he was a lovely bloke, Heath Ledger, God rest his soul. He was a really lovely bloke, but we did one thing in one whole take, and the gun, he had a rig in his head, Trevor. And,
so at the end of that bit, you go up and you slap him with the gun.
But what happened was the armourer thought we were only going to do the take up to the first bit, and we kept rolling, so I picked up the gun and I swung it past the 2 policemen and his face, and it went off. And it had another wad in it. And it was one of the moments, and I look at Heath, he looks at me, and we all went white, and we sat down and went, well, if I had have been a little bit lower, I would have either give a big gunpowder burn to either the 2 policemen or Heath. So it was actually, I'm not being funny here, but it was a very serious moment, and we all sat down for about 10 minutes after and went, shit. It was scary, and because we weren't supposed to go that far in the take.
Now, yeah. Jeff, for your bit, we've gone right back. We have found, I think, your first ever appearance on anything. Do you remember a thing called A Very Peculiar Practice?
Yes. Yes, I do. I was an extra, and I think we were paid 15 quid for 2 days' work. And they said, oh, you'll be in it loads. But I was like, blink and you'll miss me.
Well, let's see if we can blink and miss Jeff Green.
I'm 21 in this. 21.
You look great.
That's not me.
I can't get my head round that, can you?
And did that inspire you onto your career?
I was studying chemical engineering, which basically means I can make a bong out of anything, right? But no, that didn't inspire me to do TV or anything like that. It was just it was 15 quid, wasn't it? In those days, it was a lot of dough.
Carl, we've got a bit of Lano and Woodley from your farewell tour. Let's have a look.
Sure what this means, but I found this in here and there and I wanted to go on it. Yeah. What size are they? It's quite difficult because when you try to go up there, you go.
The putting away of the suits.
Which may you notice, in the manner with which I put away the suits, that it is in fact I who am putting away the suits. Because I do everything in this act. I write the scripts, I build the suits out of wheat. I do everything. Get in the car now! I told you, get in the car!
I don't know why I chose that, basically. I just wanted to put it out there on television that Frank essentially was a bit of an arsehole.
Well, look, everyone thinks he's a good guy, but I think we should explode the myth here and now,
No, it was just one of my favourite stories about Frank was that somebody on Big Brother was actually talking about Hey Hey It's Saturday, and they were saying, oh, you know, Daryl, you know, he hosts the show and nobody else ever hosts the show. And then they went, oh no, they've had a few other people hosting. I think Lano and Woodley, you know, hosted that show once. And the other woman on Big Brother went, yeah, because I served Lano and Woodley in a sandwich bar once. And you know the guy who's a bit of a bastard on stage, in real life he was really nice. But you know the guy with the hat who's like really daggy and nice on stage, in real life he was a bit of a bastard. And I love that story because then Frank would always say, I was just a bit tired that day, and she said, would you like salt and pepper with that? And I punched her in the throat. Which always just went really badly when he did that joke, although tonight it went better than it ever has.
Well, I can tell you that Trevor Marmalade also hosted Hey It's Saturday.
Yes, he did.
Too, didn't you?
Just the once who was never invited back ever again.
Yeah, it's just the ones for us too, I think. Yeah.
You were fantastic.
Let's go to I Fought the Law. Jeff, have you ever been in a scrape with the police?
At the age of 8, I burnt a church down.
But apart from that...
No. I didn't mean to. I meant to burn the school down, but the wind changed and the church caught. Often as British people, we think, why do Australians, eulogise this Ned Kelly, who is, in fact, the man who shot 3 policemen? And then when I arrived in Australia and met the police, I go, oh, yeah, I see the point. I've been told off for jaywalking in Burke Street. I got fined $147 for not wearing a helmet on my bicycle on Chapel Street. I'm a one-man bloody crime wave. I wouldn't even mind, but the cop, he didn't even say to me, excuse me, sir, could you come over here, please? He whistled me like I was a dog. Yeah. Here, you. He went, you know why I've stopped you? I went, what, not wearing a lead? You know. Did he have a poo and no one picked it up? You know.
I had an incident with the police. I was driving home from a Christmas drinks at a mate's place one night about 3 o'clock in the morning. And I was about literally 20 metres from my house when all of a sudden, woo, 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 pull over. So I bounce out, a bit of bravado. Hey, how you going there, guys? Hoping they might know me. And it's just all out, line length, had any drinks tonight, driver? I went, no, oh, yeah, maybe a couple. Just one long breath, thank you. So, they're like, and they're doing this business.
Is it a harmonica?
Well, yeah. It's new type. And they're doing this business going, oh, no, looking at each other, yeah, what do you think? I'm going, they go, where do you live? I went, there. See, right there, I live there. And they went, yeah, okay, yeah, you can go. So anyway, the next day I went to the shop and I came back home and the same cop is standing outside the front of my house. And I walk up and go, you're the guy, right, that pulled me up last night. He said, yeah. I said, what can I do for you? He said, actually, Trevor, he said, we're having our work Christmas party tomorrow night. And we're wondering if you knew anybody that might be able to come down and do a comedy skit, he says. So I'm going...
For free?
Yeah. I was saying, mate, yeah, fine. He said, how much would you charge? I said, mate, you didn't charge me, I don't charge you. Okay, all right. So anyway, I go and do the function. It's all very nice there. The gig goes well, and I'm having a couple of drinks with them afterwards. They're giving me doubles. I'm going, boys, what are you doing? They're going, well, no one's going to pull you up. We're all at the party, right? It's fine. Anyway, it's all fine, and I go around and shake a few hands at the end, and I get the two guys that pulled me up, and they're walking me out, and I said, look, Stu, thanks a lot, mate. He's saying, thank you, Trevor. Going, mate, no, thank you. And he said, actually, Trev, you only blew .03. and then his mate turns and said to me, he said, we were sitting outside your house for hours. We thought you'd never come home. It's a true story. We're going to take a very short break. When we come back, thanks to Crazy Johns, it's the Know Your Quiz. Thanks very much and welcome back. Time for the Know Your Quiz. Thanks to Crazy Johns. Crazy Johns Flat Chat, home of international calls from 1 cent per minute. Sorry, I had to just check that. 1 cent per minute. Our quiz tonight is the return of Know Your Big Australian Monuments. OK, gents, what happens here? I will give you the name of an Australian city or town and you have to tell me the name of the monument that is contained therein. What would I see if I was driving into Dadswell's Bridge in Victoria?
The big koala.
The Big Dad Bridge.
It's a big koala.
Russell, you are absolutely correct. It is the big koala.
And
there
it's
he
horrible.
is.
Look at it. I have seen it.
That is.
That is the most hideous thing I've ever seen.
That is the scariest koala you would find. What about if you were going to Tolga in Queensland?
Big peanut.
Jeff, you're going for the peanut. You are very good at your monuments. It is, in fact...
Oh, it is?
The big peanut. Very well done.
I thought that was in Canberra.
No, there's...
The big peanut.
What's not there? What about... in Nambour, you would famously find the pineapple up there, but there is another big monument in Nambour in Queensland.
No.
The big artichoke.
No, it is in fact the big macadamia.
Oh!
If that's a macadamia.
Is that a macadamia?
That looks like a big breast.
How about if I was in Karua in New South Wales?
Ooh, the big...
Prawn?
No.
Not in Karua. In fact, this is an unusual monument. This is the big Uluru, which distinguishes itself by being smaller than the thing it's trying to be. All right, what would you see if you were going to Humpty Doo in the Northern Territory?
This one I know, and because I've been there and we did Hey Out Saturday there. It's a boxing kangaroo.
Not a kangaroo.
What was it? It's a boxing...
Crocodile.
Oh, it is too. It's
not just a crocodile, a boxing crocodile. Let's have a look at him. Have a look at that, mate.
You know what? If you're ever being chased by a crocodile...
a boxing crocodile.
What would you see in Broken Hill?
The big bench, the big kitchen bench.
That is absolutely the big bench. How shit house is this?
You go to the big bench, you throw the big bread and feed the big seagulls. It's fantastic fun.
In New South Wales, Lake Cattai has a big thing. I'll give you a clue. It might be hurled by a big pensioner.
The big bus pass.
Well, if it's held by... So you're saying it's something that old people play.
The big bingo. The big...
No, lawn ball, mate.
The big lawn ball.
You are correct. It is the big lawn ball. Have a look at that, mother. All right. Okay.
He gave the answer. You know why? Because he's biased.
He's biased.
Thank you. Thanks very much. That's all I've got time for. It's been great being here, but I'm gone. You've just right up to pussy's bow with my lovely jokes, aren't you?
And let's wind it up now. Last one here. If you were going to 8 Mile Plains in Queensland, 8 Mile Plains.
Nothing. The big nothing.
No. 8 Mile Plains.
No takers?
No. Oh, it sounds tantalising.
I can tell you it is...
Give us a clue.
Well, it sits atop a sort of biggish dunny.
So... spider?
What sort of spider?
Redback.
Redback spider.
That
Redback
is
spider.
absolutely correct. The big redback spider. There we go. He's on the roof there. In fact, there's a fierce rivalry between nearby Underwood, who are currently constructing the big rolled-up newspaper. But I think our winner for tonight, Jeff Green, is our winner, ladies and gentlemen. And that is all we have time for on tonight's edition of Statesmen of Comedy. Thank you so much for joining us. Will you please thank our very special guests, Jeff Green, Colin Lane, and Rusty Gilbert. Thank you very much. Hope to see you next time on the Statesmen of Comedy. Good night.